Okay, here's my type. I typed here this first line, and again, I just used my text tool and I clicked once and I typed it in here. And you could use any phone number and stuff you want. You don't have to stick to this address. One thing you may want to do is this text where it has my tagline, I'm going to nudge it over a little. I put a little guide here, and I'm not sure how many pixels over this is, but I want to keep it pretty much the same. For alignment purposes, you want to try to line things up so that other elements of the page share the same alignment scheme. So if I have this tagline, against here, I want to start the address here, and I'd probably, anything down here, I'd want to have it that same, even the buttons and stuff. I want to have all of these things kind of align. It just makes for a cleaner interface when you have more alignment schemes going on. So also this text here, I can edit after I'm done typing. If I need to edit typing, I click on my text tool and click in here. But once I'm done, I could use my arrow tool or my selection tool, and I could go up here and I can make changes. Now, the only other change, I basically have it white Helvetica regular. You'll see this little thing down here that says strong. You can make it sharp. You could make it crisp. It's just kind of adjusting the anti-aliasing, meaning the edges, to make it look a little bit more bolder, a little softer, a little sharper. You may not see much of a difference. I'll put it on strong right now. For what we're doing, it doesn't matter that much because this is going to be text that'll be done with HTML over top of it. So we'll style it with CSS. So it's just for position purposes and to give people an idea. It's about 16 point. It doesn't have to be perfect because on a web page this would change a little bit. We wouldn't put images in there. This would just be regular HTML text that would be behind there. This might be too, or we may want to actually keep that as part of the image so that the font wouldn't change and it wouldn't change positions or break lines or anything like that. I may want to put a period in here. I don't know, it might look a little more formal with a period on there. Okay, and then where this went, now when I first started typing this line, it was below one of my boxes, so I had to bring it to the top, this address here. And you don't have to make the name different because it's just going to use the text. Now you can copy this too, so you can copy this, and I'll do a drag copy of this text and bring it down here. Make sure you hold Option, and I'll bring it and I'll put it down here. And then I'll take my text tool and I'll just kind of go inside here and highlight over it. And I think it's called Friendly Service, Friendly Prices. And I'll type that in. Okay, and I type that in. I'll get rid of this 7 here. If I wanted to make it caps, all caps, I don't have to type it in all caps. I could go up here. They have a little option that I could, well, that's faux bold, where's caps? The double T's here, we'll put it in all caps. And I might make it a little bigger. I might make it like 18 down here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but again, in terms of where I position it, I'll nudge it a little. I almost want to have it, I'll put another guideline over here where my logo is, at the edge of my logo. Now, I don't have it exact, but pretty close, so I want to follow that. Just like I did over here with alignment, I want to follow it over here. And I want kind of the same margin around, just like if you were making a document or laying out an ad, you'd want to have even margin around. Now, obviously, this is a little close down here, but in terms of the margin where we read things, this is fine. And actually, this even looks a little big down here. I might even change it and maybe just make it 17, a little bit smaller, and move it back to where it was. Now keep in mind, even though these are one-line text, you can put returns in here. You can use the paragraph tool to align these. When we make our text in the middle here, our lorem ipsum text, will actually make a text box. But for now, I think, here's my 2 text tools. And notice it updated when I put the text in here, so it should say friendly service, friendly prices down here. So again, those are the vector shapes that we made. We just put some text over top of these. Now I could put, what I may want to do is actually I'll move friendly service down there. I'll move my address shape up below that, and then I have my, let's see, I need my footer shape to go up below that. And I'm going to put them, my address shape and the text with that. I'll do the same thing. I'll go up here and I'll do layer, group layers, and it'll go in a group, and I'll just call it address bar, or I'll just call it address because that's the area. That's not an HTML name, but I'll call it address, and that puts both of those elements in that layer folder. And I'll do the same with friendly service. I'll hold shift and select the footer shape, and again I'll go to layer, group layers, and it puts it in there, and I'll call that footer because that's where the footer information is. And then you can see if I turn that off and on, it goes down there. So I have those in my layer folders. I can even click on this and move them together if I want to nudge them up just a little bit. So the other things, I'm not going to put the other ones in those folders yet. Now I may want to move my footer one kind of down below some of these others, because here I have, right now I have headers at the bottom of my layer, so I may want to move header up here at the top because it's the first thing visually that you see, then address, and then footer I may want to move down here so it's down there, because I still want to keep my layers visually in the same order that I have them on the page. It's just easier to find them that way, to turn them. So there's my header, there's my address, and there's my footer at the bottom. So what I'm going to be doing next is either, I think I'll just do the main content in the middle first, or I'll do actually I think I'm going to do the pictures next,